Hey guys, I'm back. We're ready for step 2. So we just created our characters, okay? I have 2 characters. I have a bear with a mask, and I have a sassy paintbrush with legs, okay? Now, you're going to write your story. Think about the overall story. What do you want to tell? What do you want the comic to tell? What is going to happen in it? Keep it simple. It doesn't need to be long. Just funny. A gag-a-day comic format. Most gag-a-day comics are made up of 3 panels. Mine ended up with, I think, 3.5. I didn't use the specific panel form. I used pictures on a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So you can use whatever you have available at home. But you should have an intro, a build-up, and a punchline. Okay? Here's an example of a gag-a-day comic. Vinny the Vampire. Let you read that by yourself. Here's an example of the stories. Okay, so the introduction on panel 1. Isabel, hi there. This is my bearded dragon, Fluffy, but he's not a real dragon. The build-up. Isabel, real dragons have wings. Behind her, Fluffy has grown wings. And then the punchline. Isabel, and they breathe fire. Fluffy is melting a chair with his fiery breath. Okay, here is my example. I wrote it out on paper. See if I can read it the way it is written right now. Well, let's see if I can. Might be too small for me in this screen. Okay, the intro. Cuddles. I'm so excited to paint a picture. Adele, thinking. She's not going to say this. She's going to think it. Ew, I hope he's planning on using a different brush. Okay, and then my buildup is Adele starts creeping away, but she leaves a little paint trail. Cuddles says, where did that paintbrush go? And then he spots the trail and reaches for the brush. And then the punchline is, Cuddles, now I can start. Let's see, what color should I use? And then Adele thinks, not yellow, not yellow, not yellow. I don't look good in yellow. Cuddle dips the brush into the yellow paint. And Adele says, ew, my hair. So in that, I'm going to have thought bubbles, I'm going to have speech bubbles, and I'm going to have a little box for what's happening to help the viewer understand. Here's some things you can use. After you write out the story, it's time to create the comic strip, right? So here's some things you can use. You can use speech bubble, speech bubble, speech bubble, thought bubble, and exclamation. So this would be something like somebody is yelling or saying very loudly. Okay. You can use a text box to explain what is happening. Like in mine, I said that that the paintbrush was moving away and you could still see that mark on the ground. Okay. Comic strips typically read from left to right and from the top to the bottom. Okay. So think about that when you're adding speech bubbles. Here's my example. Okay. It's super teeny tiny, so I might read mine off of my paper here, just so I can read it. So it starts in and says, I'm so excited to paint a picture. So it says basically what I just read you. Ew, I hope he's planning on using a different brush. So she thinks that. You can see the thought bubbles right there. So the words, this text is higher than this one, so that means it's read first, okay? Then see how I chose to use just kind of 2 sheets of paper here, and I'm using the whole thing. I didn't want to draw super tiny. You don't have to draw super tiny. They don't have to be in rectangles, okay? Then the next one, it says, where did that paintbrush go? And underneath, it's explaining what's happening in the picture. There's a little box that says, Adele starts creeping away, but she leaves a paint trail. And then you see the paint trail. Okay. Cuddles spots the paint trail and reaches for the brush. And then in the last one, Cuddles says, now I can start painting. Let's see, what color should I use? And then again, a thought bubble right there. Not yellow, not yellow. I don't look good in yellow. And then it says, ew, on my hair. Okay. So here's some extension work for you guys. After you're done, I'd love you to share it with me. Here's some extension work or some work that you can use to better understand speech bubbles, thought bubbles, make up your own story. I'll add in where you should send this to, but you can either email it or text